Not according to my. I'm calling. On this meeting, the order please rise as table for flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
The flag of the United States of America.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of October 27, 2025 was included in a list of meetings notice sent to the Courier News on January 6, 2025, posted on the bulletin board at Borough Hall on that date, and has remained continuously posted as required. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the Borough Clerk. Can I have a roll call, please? Councilman Harris? Brandon?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, here.
Councilwoman Engelhardt. Here. Councilwoman Fasara. Here. Councilman Lovett.
Here.
Council Vice President Wong.
Here.
Council President Parker.
Here.
And Mayor Carroll.
Yes. Sure. All right, we have the presentation of the 2024 audit. And joining us is our CFO, Bill Hance, here live and in person. Bill, I don't know if you want to come up to the microphone. And on Zoom is our auditor. So if you want to just introduce our auditor. I can't see who it is.
It's our auditor is Warren Korecki from Supplemental.
Oh, it is Warren, okay. All right. Are we gonna be able to see you, Warren, or not? There you are. There you are, hello. We can't hear him. You got to.
You gotta unmute yourself.
Okay,
Okay. Good evening.
good evening all.
Thank you for joining us. I don't know what you want to highlight for the council and the public regarding the audit this year.
Yeah, every year there's a statutory audit that has to be done, required by state, state regulations. And we filed our report, it's dated July 31st, 2025 for the year 24. Again, this is done every year. We come in the records that are maintained by the CFO's office. We take those and we audit those records, and we compile them into financial statements based on the transactions that happened for the year December 31st, 24. And we generate financial statements based on the requirements of the Division of Local Government Services. Okay. And based on those, what you receive, we give an opinion, and the opinion's considered a clean opinion. That means there's no qualifications or restrictions on the opinion that there's something wrong with the financial statement. So whatever Bill is doing there, the CFO, he's doing it correctly. He's maintaining the records in the way that the division asked for it. And it's not just a financial audit, it's also a compliance audit. There's an audit manual that the state puts out. It's around 200 pages long. And there's different areas that they want us to look at, your payroll, your outside departments. And everything that we did examine was in compliance and with those rules and regulations. I'll just make a couple of brief comments. I mean, as far as your operation wise in the report, it's Schedule A1. You started the year with 953,000 in surplus. You ended the year December 31st, 24 with 1,662,000. So you're up about 700,000. So financially, you did very well. And out of that 1,162,000, I mean, you only used 192 in your 25 budget. So you preserved a lot of the surplus that you did have. What generated a lot of the increase in 24 was your percentage of collection is up. It's over 97%. So you collected, about 700,000 to 800,000 more in taxes. So the taxpayers are, funding up, the bills that they're receiving. We did have one recommendation this year after looking at the records, and I'll just, it's minor in itself, but the recommendation just read it. The bank accounts for the tax collector and utility collector be reconciled on a monthly basis. Now, that's not to imply there were no reconciliations. We just there was bounced checks, things like that just weren't entered into the reconciliation to get it to go back to the general ledger. So once we made those adjustments, everything was in order. But it's something that should be onto on a monthly basis. And that was the only recommendation that we did have. And that's
Great.
basically about it. I mean, the records that have been maintained are fine. Everything's in good order there in Flemington. Like you said, you did very well financially. The utilities are all self-liquidating, and what that basically means is that the receipts from the revenues from the both utilities are covering their operations with no support from the current fund budget. If there's any questions or anything, like, we're glad to answer them right now. You should be doing a corrective action plan on the recommendation. I assume the CFO is doing that right, at this moment.
It's done.
Yes, we did it.
You did that last time. So does anybody from the council have any questions?
Can you just go back over, did you say 1,000,000 one, what did he say, 1,000,000?
$1,666,000.
And then he said,
56.
after that, you said something else, like.
I said, yeah, you have $1,662,000 in surplus at the end of December 24, but you only used 192,000 in the 25 budget. So you preserved a lot of your surplus. You didn't use it.
Okay, thank you.
As I recall, Warren, I think that the magic number we wanted to get to on surplus was $1,750,000. That would put us in that sweet spot as far as auditors care about with municipal government.
Yeah, you want to preserve it. I mean, it's very easy to use and not generate it back.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you want to keep something on hand, because it's like any other thing. In other words, when the CFO comes into the municipal building, you're like any other business. He needs cash on hand. In other words, in a till to run your operations. You don't receive all your revenues on a monthly basis. Your state aid comes in the second half of the year, but you're paying out a lot of bills in the beginning half. So you need cash just to operate. So by preserving your surplus, it gives the CFO cash without going out for short-term notes to maintain your operations.
But it also is important for bond ratings.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that, I think we're like right at that sweet spot now, if we can preserve this amount for maybe to get a better bond rating. And this is the most surplus this town has ever had. Actually, I think the 953,000 was already the most surplus we've ever had. So to almost double it is pretty great. So anybody else have any other questions?
I have a question on the recommendation.
Hmm.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I have a question on the recommendation of
Sure.
reconciling the tax and utility monthly. Are they not doing that currently? Like, is that not a rule currently?
Well, no, they had reconciliations, but the differences were, in other words, when somebody pays taxes or something and you're gonna get bounced checks with insufficient funds. So you should adjust the reconciliations. That we found every time to tie it back to the general ledger, it was always the bounced checks that weren't adjusted on a reconciliation. So that's what you should do on a current basis.
I guess my question is, is there a regular schedule of reconciliation now? Is it like every 3 months instead of every month?
No,
Like,
no, it's supposed to be done every month. Every month it has to be
it's
done.
supposed to be done every month, and it is done every month.
It's done every month, but like I said, we had to make a couple of adjustments to it for insufficient funds.
Okay, so I guess my question is then, if she's doing that every month, and then why just the recommendation is just continue that practice? Is that?
So a lot of it had to do with the transition when our previous collector left. Then she came on mid-year.
Okay,
Things, she had to get caught up and things weren't done, I guess by the end of the year.
so basically it's keep up the good work is what you're saying.
She's right, she's
Okay.
on track now.
Okay, because I do know that, yeah, I mean, people bounce checks and it unfortunately sometimes, the clerk doesn't necessarily have the most recent information if there is a balance difference, and I know that's something that she's concerned about because she wants to make sure she has the most accurate information. So basically, whatever the tax and actually, there's two she's, the tax collector and the utilities clerk have on record.
You don't have a utilities clerk anymore,
No.
Well,
it's
I'm
just
sorry,
one person.
Same person.
Or Liz.
It's just one person.
right?
She's saying Liz.
Liz, I'm saying Liz and Connie, that two
Yeah.
different people, so.
Yes,
Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology for their
this is
title.
our deputy treasurer.
Okay, I'm using the wrong
Better treasurer.
terminology for their title, but my point is there's two different people. And when those two different people are looking at their records, it could be as much as 30 days off if there is some sort of difference as far as, somebody comes in and says, hey, what's my balance? They can look it up in their schedule, but if there's been a bounce check in the last 30 days, that wouldn't be showing up on their ledger. not any fault of theirs.
So we're in the process of giving them access to their accounts online so they could view that.
Great.
And they would know within 2 days if the check bounced.
That's great, because I know that's something that they have to struggle with on a
Yes.
day-to-day basis, because I just talked to them about it a couple of days ago. Thank you. That helps.
Can you go back to the tax? I didn't hear what he said about the tax. He said something about the
The
tax,
tax collection rate is up to 97%.
the collection rate. Okay, thank you.
And actually, I just looked at that right now, as of the Q3, we're at 98.22%.
For
Wow,
collection.
that's amazing.
For collection.
Wonderful collection percentage, yes.
Wonderful.
Where were we? Compared to last year, where were we? I'm just trying.
Last year it was 97, the year before it was
So it's
probably
still tracking.
95 or so.
Okay, so it's still, we're still.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no issues. There's never been
it's
any.
getting better, let's put it that way, yeah.
Right,
Okay.
but a percentage is a lot of money. So,
Mhm.
Councilman Long?
No, I just, who do we say good job to? Bill? Us.
Councilwoman Fasaro?
No, thank you, Beth.
Anybody from the public have any questions? Okay, Bill, is there anything you want to add that Warren didn't tell us?
Not that I know of, I think we covered it, I mean, we're doing good with the surplus and try to maintain that with the budget next year as well.
Great, okay. Warren, thank you for joining. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman Arise, do you have a question?
Okay, thank you very much.
No, I'm good. Everything good.
Okay, thank you, Warren.
Thank
Good.
you.
Appreciate
Good
it.
evening, all.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
All right, I have only two things on our report. Number one, we received an award last week from Hunterdon County. They had opened up another round of parks funding grants. And this was very specific for ADA compliance and upgrading parks to help improve accessibility. The highest award that was given was to Alexandria Township at 72,000, and we received 70,000. So we did really great in this round. And my partner in crime who wrote this grant, Mike Campion, I want to just thank him for getting that in early. So that's all I've got. So going on to the council members' reports, Councilman Arias?
Not too much from my part. Really, all I gotta say is that what is it? December 6th. I know it's a couple months, 2 months from here. Actually, no, almost a month actually. We got those Twilight House tours for the HPC. And then for June, for 2026, we already have a date for the House and Garden tours for the HPC. So that'd be on June 6th, 2026. But I guess when we get closer to those dates, we'll talk more about it. And yeah, that's all about for me. Thank you.
I forgot that I just wanted to let everybody on council know whether you knew her or not, Chris Engelhardt. Long time, very long time, Flemington resident, passed away over the weekend. She'd been sick for several years. Prior to her becoming sick, Chris was, and I know a lot of you, haven't been here long enough, I know Councilman Engelhardt certainly has been here long enough to know, but Chris was a force. I mean, she was very big in the arts community. She basically started plein air arts. All these art people that are now doing plein air in the municipality know Chris was the one pushing for all of it. She brought in art shows. She helped preserve the DeVore farm with Citizens for Parkland. She was a member of Friends of Historic Flemington, as well as I don't even know countless organizations. She cared deeply about this municipality, and it's just very sad. And I just want to send mine and all of your condolences to her daughter Beth.
She served on planning board and HPC.
Oh, that's right. She did serve on planning board. I forgot about that, and HPC. She was a
She was a
big,
really nice lady.
very nice lady, and even when she criticized, she was nice about it. So she'll be missed. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I forgot to do that. Councilwoman Engelhardt?
Yeah.
Your report.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Christine. Thank you for mentioning her. That's important. Okay, thank you. I'm going to start with what's happening this week is trick or treat, and Flemington is a big deal. And so I wanted to mention the 2025 Borough Trick or Treat Candy Assistance Program. We're continuing it this year. We're collecting donations for neighbors on Broad Street and Bunnell Street who get, up to 1,200 visitors on Friday night, each house. It's a lot of fun, and the surrounding areas who may face extra costs due to the high number of trick-or-treaters. So the way you can help, if you partake, you know, we really appreciate it. Sometimes people just donate right at the door, but this is the better program because we can distribute it to people who really ask and need it. You can donate candy, individually wrapped candy, only at the Borough Hall from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday of this week. Obviously today's over. Donations must be made by Thursday, October 30th at 4:30. Any after hour donations, if those hours don't work for you, contact me directly or let the borough clerk know. My email is sentelhardt@historicflemington.com. And Carla's email is cconr@historicflemington.com, or you can call town hall, and extension 2 is her extension. So you can sign up by either calling Carla. You can also write a comment on the Facebook page if you want, and we'll be monitoring that this week. There's some people that are emailing saying, hey, where's the candy? You do have to have proof of a Borough of Flemington resident if you're coming to pick up. So all due respect to our Raritan neighbors, this program is not for you to pick up candy, but if you come and partake, you're welcome to donate candy. We appreciate it. So did I get all the information that we need? Is it hot here?
We're freezing, no, we're
No, it's
freezing.
freezing.
We're freezing.
I'm okay.
That's subject.
It's like a trap.
So good.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm always.
All right, maybe there you go.
That's my.
Continue.
All right, so I do want to mention, Marcia did mention it, but Marcia and Tony, myself, and Tony's husband, Scott, attended the Witches Walk, and we had the very difficult task of judging the children's, Halloween contest. I absolutely hate this assignment. It is so hard. There are
You
little
volunteers.
people's eyes are all looking at you with long faces. Really creative stuff out there, and it looked like everybody was having a good time. So thank you for attending that. Another bad news. By the way, people sometimes mistaken. Christine and I were not related. We just happen to have the same last name spelled differently. Unfortunately, we also Jeremy and I attended Chief Gilmartin's funeral on Saturday. I'm sure he's going to go into it in a little more detail in his report. I would like to encourage everybody to make donations in her name to the fire department. I think that would really mean a lot to her and her family. And I don't know what type of disease that Debbie suffered from the last 2 years, but I do know there was some sort of cancer involved, and I just want to encourage everybody to get there. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and please, everybody, including myself, were reminded last weekend when we heard Debbie's passing to get our mammograms. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because Chief Gilmartin was the first female fire chief in the county. So I wanted to just kind of shout out some girl power there, and thinking of her and her family. On October 15th, I attended the Safe in Huntington vigil at the courthouse for victims and survivors and those who are suffering in silence from domestic violence. That it's also Domestic Violence Month as well. We encourage people to donate to Safe in Huntington to remember those victims. I've said this a few times the last few weeks, but a reminder, rabies clinic is November 8th, 9 to 10 at the firehouse. Please make sure your dogs are on leashes. And yard sale this Saturday. Again, if you would like to participate, put your address either on the Facebook page or let Carla know, and we'll be making sure that's on the website. All good stuff.
Thank you. Councilwoman Fasaro.
Key thing, just to keep it quick, the planning board bylaws committee, which consists of myself, Melissa Swingle, and Mr. Eckel. We've met twice now. We'll be meeting again this Wednesday. We have found a few things we felt were missed in the past. Example, it still calls out a secretary who was not the secretary in Carla's Manor. So that's somehow is sat in there for years and been missed. We're also looking at pulling back the time. So last meeting, Don and I are going back and forth. Should it be 9 or 9:30 for the last new witness, last time down? And we are going to be involving our planning board attorney on Wednesday's evening, on this Wednesday's meeting. So, and then in terms of the library, everything is running smoothly. And I should have some decent updates in our next meeting, which I'll be able to share at that time.
Good, thank you. Councilman, was it?
Thank you. Very brief report. Most exciting thing I've been up to in the past 2 weeks is I made a new form for the dumpster permit ordinance that we passed at the last meeting. So that's everything I've got.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you.
pretty simple. Thank you. Councilman Wong?
Sure, good evening, I just got a few things, I skipped the police report last time for the September numbers, I'll just throw a few things at you. In September, there were 44 investigations and 20 arrests. That activity has ticked up. Motor vehicle crash, in September, there was a total of 31 crashes. Out of these, 2 involved commercial vehicles and 4 of them did report injuries. Officers are actively enforcing our traffic laws throughout the town with a particular focus on distracted driving, sign enforcement, and speeding. Ensuring roadway safety remains their top priority. And if you have any traffic related concerns or complaints about your street, don't hesitate to call the department. The non-emergency line at 908-782-3434. And they certainly appreciate the community's help in keeping our roads safe. As Councilwoman Engelhardt had mentioned, we did attend the funeral for Deborah Gilmartin, who for over 30 years was a member of our volunteer department. She took on numerous roles, including serving, as mentioned, as the fire department chief from 2011 to 2013. And as also mentioned by Councilwoman Engelhardt, yes, the first female chief in all of Hunter County, which is, I know as a young lady, that's impressive, but as a regular old dude, I think that's pretty important, to have that in leadership. Her commitment to both the department and the Flemington community cannot be overstated, and I wanted to thank everyone who was able to attend the services, and she will be greatly missed. Lyceum, the last one was on October 13th. It was the sixth event in the series at the Chamber of Commerce. There was a lot of great discussion and ideas shared upon the subject of creative civic participation. This is a really enlightening roundtable-like discussion because what happened as a result is, the president of an art venture wants to sit down and talk, and I think a lot of the feedback and a lot of the ideas generated were how can we get more public art in the community, specifically the borough? How can we get displays and spaces? We do have some, but there's some ideas for how we can get more. So I hopefully we'll be able to share some ideas and send them out to the council and certainly the people in the Public Art Committee. The next Lyceum Society lecture is going to be taking place on Thursday, November 13th, same time, 6:30 at the chamber once again. This time, audience members will be presented with Youth and Civic Voice. Are we listening to the next generation? So all the Lyceum lectures have been really great in their own ways, different formats, different speakers, a lot of different stuff. I think this one's going to be very special. I have 2 very passionate individuals who simply cannot wait to share their insights. And the next generation of leaders has some thoughts, and I'm certain that they will be heard loud and clear. And that's my report.
Thank you. Councilman Parker?
Yeah, so don't know if you guys are aware of this, but on Fulper, the YMCA, excuse me, not YMCA, United Way, mixing up my notes. United Way, ExxonMobil actually had 75 people donate time and material to do an interactive sidewalk display for kids. It is absolutely stunningly beautiful. As a matter of fact, they called me and asked me if I would come. to thank the ExxonMobil volunteers. And I walked up and it was like you look down and it just pulls you in. It's absolutely wonderful. But not only did they do that, they painted the inside of the building, they put up shelves, they donated an entire day to the United Way, time, materials, and people. My understanding is they donate time to United Way every year. That's one of their things that they, I guess they have different organizations and United Way they pick. So for Flemington Borough, it's just amazing. And I think I sent a text to say, please go over and look at this. It's actually very cool. And I would like the council to do something, maybe give them a proclamation or whatever the case may be, thanking them for their contribution to the borough. This is a borough location. Also, we also hosted, I don't know if you guys, I think you guys all got an invite. There was about 125 to 135 people, and I can't remember the number, here on last Thursday for downtown New Jersey. It was such a great event. So it's all the people from municipalities all around New Jersey, from Southern Jersey to Northern Jersey. And David Dixon, who wrote the Stantec report, was here to speak and actually give his perspective from the time the report was done to where we are right now. That included taking tours of Flemington, overwhelming responses from people about the tours. But more importantly, it gave people time to engage on similar types of challenges throughout New Jersey. Doesn't matter what municipality you are, whether that's ordinance or zoning or trash or whatever. It was just, it gave people time to actually really dig in. A couple of our businesses were represented. They were on panels and talking about what types of barriers there are with small businesses coming into municipalities and the challenge with that is, and the money that it costs, and how sometimes they get discouraged and they pick up and just go back to another location or another town or whatever the case may be. But it was so good. But I also spent a significant amount of time with David Dixon, and I would actually encourage us for next year's budget to bring him back here, to let him talk not only to the council, but to the community. Because he put together that Stantec report and we went line by line on everything about it and where we are and what we've done and what hasn't been done and what were the blocks. What I thought was really encouraging, because this guy he's a renowned planner. He has planned some major projects around the country. He's actually writing a book. Flemington is going to be a part of his book, by the way. We're going to be a chapter in his book. And from his perspective, we've come a long way. He understands the barriers. He understands what's going on. He understands the pushback, but he understands the pushing forward as well. It was just a great event, and I hope we can have it here again next year. And I would encourage everybody to go because it was actually excellent. That said, I do want to reiterate, and know I sent an email out to all of you, but Robin Lapidus has resigned her position. She's moving on to another venture. I just want to say, I know, when the executive director for BIT is a tough position. It is tough because you're getting it from the business owners, you're getting it from the council, you're getting it from the community. I mean, you're just getting hit. And for one person, I actually think if I kind of take a look at it, I think there's two things. I think one is one person cannot do that job. That's the main thing. There's got to be more than one person. I think the other thing is that one of the things that Robin has done is she has put Flemington on the map. She's got us into a lot of publications. She got us in tourism. As a matter of fact, I was at the county and they handed me something and said, see, Flemington's actually outlined in this pamphlet. She has gotten us recognition from New Jersey Biz. So she has done a great job at doing those things. In terms of moving forward, we are going to do a search. In the interim, we are going to look at bringing in a consultant just to take a look and help us out for the next whatever period of time. So there is a plan. Robin will be around for the next week or two, doing transitions. That said, the signs. So the signs are painted. They are actually done. I am coordinating a meeting between Mike Campion, the county, Mark Salek, and the printer. So everybody in the same room. So there is a definitive schedule. We have to get the signs out of one location by the 31st. Mike and I've already dealt with that. But I think the real issue is just getting them up and getting the bucket truck and getting them to the printer, getting them from the printer, getting them up. It's still a process. So that is happening. It is happening. I actually have a picture of the signs painted. It's all being done. We will probably start with the smaller signs first that says "Welcome to Flemington," so that those are up by Christmas, so that there is some type of something going on, because we anticipate that the courthouse square, just the square, will be opening during the Christmas season to do come meet Santa and that whole bit. Speaking of which, I did do another tour with the group from downtown Flemington. Jack took people on a tour of the plaza. I have to say, I had no idea the depth of that plaza until you stand there and see all the potential and the possibility and the excitement. It is so cool. These people were so blown away. They were so blown away. And what's really nice is that people who have never heard of Flemington are actually talking about coming back to Flemington just for the opening. They want to see the opening. And so there we go. And with that said, I am working with the Cusp Corporation and some of our local business owners, so that there is participation and there's something that goes back to the business owners, so that everybody's included. So yeah, so that's that. The other thing is that the Y pool, I was there today with the Y. They're moving forward. They're about 50% of where they need to be for funding. So they're going to be pretty aggressive over the next year to try to get their funding. We talked about some ideas of what things can happen. So that said, what's really nice about this is I see many things happening at once. There's a lot of things going on. And I thought the mere fact that we had 120 or 125 or 135 people from downtown New Jersey here to talk about downtown New Jersey was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And it happened here at Stengel. And by the way, Stengel, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Ben who owns Alchemy got married to Stengel a couple of weeks ago, and they redid Stengel. I was invited to the wedding. It was stunning, absolutely stunning. As a matter of fact, they left up some of the decorations for downtown New Jersey. What I'd like to see is that we use more of Stengel for those events and advertise things for what. And I did talk to and he said they do that. But I think one of the things that I want BID to do is really get out and advertise that this place is available for meetings and it's available for this. We know that the hotel's going to happen with that, but we don't want to take the emphasis off the Stengel as well. So that's it.
Can I ask you a question about the signs?
Sure.
I think I remember that we had talked about, or Robin had talked about putting up a demo or two sign.
What are you talking about?
That was, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
I believe they were technically up in the building.
They're up in
They're
their.
in
I
the
thought we
office.
were gonna put them up, like there was supposed to be one put up like by
They were just kind
Taco
of in the
Bell.
window.
Are they just-
No, they're in their window.
Maybe they can.
I don't know.
I know they're very heavy,
They
like.
really
No,
are.
They
The
had
way
foam
finding
samples.
They are extremely heavy.
They had foam samples, I think, that were had the actual.
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
the
they did.
Exterior, like
Okay.
the material was gonna be.
So I said it's
sitting-
good, because I thought there was gonna be one or two.
No, I don't see that because that would be Mike and them to have to put that up and to take that down. I don't see that, because they had a struggle trying to get those bad boys up. But they're gonna be up in the next couple of weeks, so you know what, we're 3/4 of the way there. Let's put it that way.
Right, very good, thank you. All right, public comment session number 1. Anybody wishing to speak from the public, please come up to the microphone. I need your name, your address, and if you're also online, please raise your hand. So.
Hello. Just keeping it very brief.
And your name and address for the record, please.
Kyle Doremus,
Can you spell that?
Doremus. Perfect. I live at 31 Lieutenant Hooper Road in Milford, New Jersey. I'm here on behalf of the Center for Educational Advancement. I just wanted to thank you all. I wasn't able to be here for the actual day that it was approved, but I just want to thank you for, again, another great year for the turkey trot and getting all that pushed through. So thank you for that. Again, very brief, but my second year and everything has always gone very smoothly. So again, I appreciate it from my end. You know, being one of the main people there, it's like organizing a lot of stuff. It's very helpful to know that this is one thing I can count on going smoothly every year because there's a lot of different factors with this event.
You
So.
not wood when you say that.
Yeah. Are you doing the same route as you did last year?
Yeah, same route as we did last year. Yeah, so we're gonna try and keep that pretty standard.
I live on Maple, I love it.
Yeah, no, it's because, you know, and we did figure that a lot of the people who live in the town appreciate seeing the community running around.
You
So,
know, we approved the road closure.
yeah, that's I'm here to thank you for that.
He came after the meeting.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I think I need this to get on the agenda, and she was like, sorry, she was very helpful and was like, here it is, and I was like, thank you. So it was very easy, like I said, so thank you very much for that, and I will see you all next year.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, see you on Thanksgiving.
Anybody else from the public? Anybody, their hand up, Carl?
Yeah, Dennis.
No?
Pardon?
Nobody?
No, Dennis showed.
Oh, okay. Dennis Show, I need your address for the record, please.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, it's Dennis Shobe. I'm a resident of Flemington at 194 Main Street. I would like to publicly comment related to many comments made over the past few Borough Council meetings. I recognize that many of you will just say that's his opinion, but I cannot let some of the comments go without me commenting. First of all, I don't know any Flemington Borough resident that is anti-renter. And I resent Borough Council members and the FCP members saying that about us residents. My wife, Maria, and I are pro-business, have always encouraged and supported retail businesses, including dining establishments in the borough. What we don't support is Borough Council ordinances that are skewed to favor landlords, which is what the Borough Council implemented. One Borough Council member even publicly stated that we need to show them a carrot and we want them to be inspired to invest in their properties. We have a lot of vacant space and they should be incented to invest in their properties. Our town ordinance allows them to delay any tax increases from investing in their properties for several years. That's a big incentive, and some of these landlords still don't fix up their properties. If they aren't interested in fixing up their properties and can't rent their spaces, maybe they should sell their properties to someone who will. It was also stated that year over year, there have been variances for rear access. And I can say in the 3 years I've been involved in the planning board, I can only remember one application for rear variances on Main Street. Borough Council members have said people are making this issue political. I have never seen anything political on this issue, and I have never seen politics come into play at all on the planning board. People may have differing opinions, but it's important for people to be open to compromise. That is not being political, and I don't believe council members should be saying things are political when they are not. Another Borough Council member stated, when asked where was the forum for input from residents that went into the recent Main Street zoning ordinance change, he said he got residents' input when he was campaigning door to door. I believe that was roughly 3 years prior to the ordinance being crafted with 2 other Borough Council members. How is that getting borough residents' input on the proposed ordinance before finalizing it? I am extremely disappointed that 4 Borough Council members voted for an ordinance that had significant impact on borough residents without having an open forum for all residents, business owners, and landlords to provide their input. Clearly, they got input from landlords and business owners through the FCP, but they never proactively held an open forum that included residents before finalizing it. We borough residents pay a lot of taxes and expect our opinions to be heard and seriously considered before the Borough Council recommends and votes on an ordinance that significantly impacts all current residents of the borough. I want to commend Jeremy Long for his leadership and willingness to push back on the members who drafted the zoning ordinance to slow down and get residents' input. And then 2 weeks ago, where he proposed accepting the vetoes for the 2 main items that every borough resident who spoke did not support, which would keep 90% of what was proposed intact. The 3 architects of the ordinance refused to budge and wouldn't compromise at all, which is very concerning. Thank you, Jeremy, for all your contributions on the Borough Council and the Lyceum series. Jeremy, Maria and I wish you were running again for Borough Council, as your leadership and willingness to compromise is needed and clearly missing as evidence of the zoning ordinance that recently passed. Thanks for all you have done and all you do for Flemington Borough. I encourage all Flemington Borough residents, if you find Borough Council members do not support your views and act in a way that compromises an acceptable form of governing in our beloved Flemington Borough, that you exercise your right to vote and elect people who will. Maria and I plan to do so now in the future. Thank you.
So I'm gonna comment on this. I am gonna comment on this. And I'm gonna comment on this for a couple of things. A, when you talked about 3 years ago, it wasn't 3 years ago, it was this year because we're out campaigning because this is campaign season. So let's get that first. Second of all, you know, when I'm tired of hearing this whole thing. When I sat with David Dixon, one of the things he said, and when we talked about the downtown New Jersey and all these municipalities, this is specifically what they said. They said, you know, there is a group who is always is going to fight, and that's a very small group. And you need to stop listening to that group and listening to the majority of the group. It is not true that we are just listening to business owners. And I talk to people all the time. I am tired of these darts. I'm tired of all this going on. And yes, it is political, Dennis, because it turned political. And one of the things that David Dixon did say, he said, when you're starting to do ordinances and affect zoning, it becomes political if it's a political year. That was his quote unquote. This is a guy that is renowned. He is renowned, and you're more than happy to talk to him. That's why I want him to come here. I am just tired of this narrative. I'm tired of the narrative. We passed it. We're moving on. That's it. I'm done. You can do whatever you want. You can vote for whoever you want. That's why we are in America. We get to do what we want to do. The point of it is there's 5 people, there's 6 people up here, and not all of us are going to agree with one another, and that's fine. That's what makes us individuals. If you don't want to vote for that, that's fine too. The bottom line is that we did something based upon information that we got. We sent that information forward. We got no input back from it. Certainly not in the time frame that we asked for it. And I'm going to put something else in perspective. When this first started in 2024 in November, we were just handed something and not even given the opportunity to give any input. That's the other thing that people keep forgetting. So let's not make this like he said, she said, dot, 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 dot. It's done. It's done. Let's move on. Thank you.
I'm gonna remind the council, this is public comment and really is no,
But you do it sometimes too, Marcia.
I
so
answer
I'm gonna
questions,
take-
I don't,
Yeah,
I'm
you-
not gonna debate you about this too, Tony, because there was a lot of discussion in 2024. So, and every year is a political year, because every year there's two council people running.
I'm just telling you,
Every
he
year.
said to me. I
Well,
didn't say that it was.
he doesn't live
to a
here, so
fault.
I don't really, he doesn't live here, so, he's got his opinion,
Well,
he's a
now.
professional, but so does our planner, and, they also gave their opinion about the ordinance, so. Anybody else from the public have any comment? And I will try to keep from being. Seeing none. All right. You don't have any minutes to approve, Carla?
Nope.
All right, consent agenda. Resolution 2025-179, chapter 159, local law enforcement grant. Resolution 2025-180, chapter 159, state of New Jersey recreation grant. Resolution 2025-181, resolution authorizing a contract with Cariago Landscape to abate public safety hazards at 35 North Main Street, block 5, lot 1, and authorizing the tax collector to lien the property. Resolution 2025-182, resolution approving a refund for the redemption of tax sale certificate on block 5, lot 4, resolution 2025-183, resolution approving a refund for the redemption of the tax sale certificate on block 24, block 21. Does anybody,
Can I just ask, what is that actually about? I'm sorry.
which one?
The one that you're talking about, the block, the tax certificate. Is that the one you're talking about? 182?
It's,
Is it?
It's for the tax sale.
yes,
Oh, okay,
tax sale.
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Anybody have anything they want pulled up for separate vote? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Long second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Aries,
Yes.
Councilman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasara,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Council Vice President Long,
Yes.
and Council President Parker.
Yes,
We don't have any public hearings tonight because,
Yeah, that make the paper.
yes, the public comments did not make the
7
paper.
days.
So it will be November 10th.
Yep.
And our next meeting will be the two ordinances that were introduced at the last meetings, public hearings. We do have an introduction tonight. Ordinance 2025-28, ordinance amending 7A traffic schedules to authorize a handicap parking spot on Grant Avenue. This is a request by both our chief of police and our DPW superintendent. There is a gentleman living there who is a senior who is very ill. We do not have a driveway, we do not have a garage, and rely on street access to get him in and out of the car for his many doctor's appointments. So he does have a handicap plate. So can I have a motion to introduce?
Engelhardt will move.
Is there
Fasara,
a second? Roll call, please.
Councilman Aries,
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasara,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Council Vice President Long,
Yes.
and Council President Parker.
yes.
Thank you. Public hearing to be held on November 10th. There is no, like I said, there's no public hearings tonight. Regular agenda, resolution 2025-184, resolution approving the purchase of playground equipment for Tucker Morgan Park, not to exceed $80,000. That is a grant we received from the Department of Community Affairs. After a lot of scrutiny and a lot of discussion, our DPW superintendent met with a playground equipment company that looked at the quality and condition of our playground equipment as being not in that great shape, so this can be replaced, but we've got and upgrade it to safer, more current quality. And I have a
Engelhardt will move.
is there a second?
Long second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Aries,
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasara,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Council Vice President Long,
Yes.
and Council President Parker.
Yes,
Are we doing that other ordinance or not?
What other word? Did I miss something?
The zoning one?
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I missed it. Thank you. Okay, going back to introduction of ordinances number 11-7, ordinance 2025-29, an ordinance amending chapter 26 zoning of the Borough Code This would put back in the 35-foot height from 50 feet to 20 feet in the zoning ordinance, which Councilwoman Engelhardt removed on the fly, looking at the veto. I don't know if everybody understood the significance, but our planner had recommended going from 40 feet to 35 from the 50-foot mark to the 20-foot rear setback close to residential neighborhoods to bring it down to 2 stories, which is what the houses are on Park Avenue. So, this was requested by Councilman Long. Can I have a motion, please, to introduce?
Sorry, I'll move.
Is there a second?
Oh, second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Arias?
What
Brandon?
Sorry. This is just from just amending what Susan said from last time, right?
Yes, this was put back, so it, my veto vetoed all the stuff in the parking lots, including buildings there. At the last minute, Councilwoman Engelhardt, I believe in the spirit of compromise, removed one of the sections, and I'm not sure anybody understood what was happening because it was done on the fly. Including. And so what the planner had originally put into the ordinance and recommended was that from the back of the building to a 50-foot setback, an addition or a separate building could be 40 feet high, which is 3 stories. But from 50 to 20, it would go down to 35 feet, which is 2 stories because it abuts residential neighborhoods. That section was taken out. So right now, everything from the back of the building all the way to 20-foot rear setback would be at 3 stories or 40 feet high, unless you put back in the section that was removed on the fly at the last public hearing.
Okay, so that's the only thing that's being amended, right?
That is the only thing that's being amended, is softening the height.
Oh, okay, sounds good then. So yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt?
I don't have a problem with this, but I do have a couple comments first, so, and I want to strike some of the wording in the ordinance as it was written, so what do we do?
It'll have to be reintroduced because it's a significant change. And you're gonna strike them. I mean, it's such a short word. I don't have.
I have it.
Thank you. Very effective.
Yeah. Can I do that now? Yeah,
Motion has been moved before, or under second. You're in the middle of the vote. We're in the middle of voting.
Yeah, but, so somebody wanted to table this. Prior,
Did they get moved?
somebody wanted to table. Should have done it previous, right?
Should have done it on your second. It could have been subsidiary motion to table.
Just so you know, this ordinance was written by Kyle McManus, not by proceeding. So.
So if we wanted to make changes to this, then what would we do? Because we don't want to do it.
So you're in the middle of the vote right now. So, halfway through the vote, so, I mean. The strict rule of procedure would be you have to finish your vote, of which there are 3 votes been taken and 3 left to be called. After that, the ordinance has been introduced, you could always amend it later, just reintroduce it. So it would just be an introduced ordinance, but nothing says you can't amend it, you just would have to reintroduce it.
But the wording that I have an issue with is in the introduction, not in
Where is
the
it,
table
Susan?
itself.
In the whereas.
Yes,
Where?
whereas to,
That was paragraph,
I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 down.
before the last whereas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas to, in order to better address the potential negative impact of reduced rear yard setback requirements implemented in the DB district for ordinance.
You can amend the whereas next week.
What do you want, yeah,
I have a problem with that.
doing it in the public hearing?
Because it's whereas.
What do you want to take
It's
out?
not substantive. To the content of the ordinance, which is listed later. It's just a whereas, right? Susan, you could just amend it. Next meeting, when it's on final reading, if you have no problem with the substantive arguments, that's what we look for substantiality. So you could amend however you want.
It's just an introductory whereas.
Right.
That's all that was my.
All it does is, all this does is put it back to the original ordinance, so there's,
No, but I think.
We're in the middle of a vote, weren't we supposed to discuss this first?
no, there's no discussion in introductions. There's discussion in public hearings, there is no discussion in introduction.
Okay,
I explained what it was, what it was
we
gonna
got,
do.
we received this Friday afternoon. So, is it is it my turn to vote?
Yes.
I
No,
don't remember.
that, I have to vote no because I don't feel comfortable with the wording with the whereas.
That's the problem.
That's the problem,
So it could be, so Chris just said it's not the standard, so it could be amended in the public hearing.
It could be. Yeah,
Could be,
it
man.
could be.
Okay, so everybody has some.
It could be. Because it's not, because here, this is, you're okay with this part, right? Section 1, Susan? You can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna discuss it, I don't wanna discuss it because we're voting, like that's not what we're
Yeah, I
supposed
mean,
to do here.
yeah.
So, but yeah.
Try to help.
Yeah, I'm trying to help too, but I'm also trying to follow the rules, right?
Okay, yes, yeah, so.
The problem was, the real problem is I don't think that. I think everybody thought there was gonna be a discussion first before this was done. I think that's the problem. So it is.
But this wasn't done last
It is what
minute,
it
and
is.
that's it wasn't done last minute, and I have a big problem with one line in the whereas. That is the only
Well,
issue I have.
I mean,
We can amend that.
But it wasn't,
Exactly.
it wasn't, this was put on the agenda, Friday afternoon, so
I did write to
nothing-
you 2 weeks ago and asked you if you were willing to put an amendment, and I never heard back from you. And then I heard from Councilman Wong, so, and this was received from Kyle McManus
Yeah, I mean,
on Friday.
We're,
Even
I
if you wanted
feel
to-
this shouldn't be discussed, we're in the middle of a vote. I have voted no, let's move on. And that's, I'm not gonna
Right,
mess
Carly,
around with
continue
this
the
anymore.
vote.
Councilwoman Fasaro,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Council Vice President Long,
I'm gonna be a real heavy in that.
Lay it on me, that's what I'm here for.
Procedurally, okay?
Sure.
If I were to, it's too late for me to rescind. I vote to second this, right?
Yeah, so to the second, you typically would not be able to rescind it. Some rules of procedure would allow you to change your vote before the closing of votes, but
Yeah, well, I don't wanna add any confusion,
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be helpful.
Yeah,
It's a bit, I mean, also, some governing bodies just do whatever they want procedurally.
well, look, I don't.
No, you know,
I wanna stick to the letter here.
Yeah, you know, I've always told you, Councilman, I try to chart a middle course here.
Sure.
Flexibility,
No, absolutely.
flexibility while trying to, guide, so.
Right.
I would say that, we want it, I would say it would be inappropriate to change a second, right? I think that,
It would be inappropriate.
I think if you wanted to change your vote, you could appeal to the chair under the rules of procedure to change your vote, she would get to decide. Considering this is not for final next, so nothing is being permanent tonight, I can't imagine, I won't speak for the mayor, but.
Right.
That she would have a problem with that because. You could just vote on next week too, in a different manner, so. So
I'm
if
just
you wanted
trying
to
to-
change your vote, right, I mean, that would be the appeal to the
I
chair.
would just really suggest we just vote on it and then allow the amendment to happen at.
I wanna be crystal clear, I have no problem with changing the.
Oh, any of the words.
rule of procedure, right, 100% no problem, so,
Changing the wording to the.
no problem.
No problem.
So I wanna be crystal clear,
Mhm.
you can change it, even if you wanted to, do it.
I mean, I just think if we change the wording, all this goes away.
Yeah,
So
what you
you're
could do-
saying that- But you're saying that we have to wait until the next thing to change.
I think that, yeah,
This is just.
I think that's what she doesn't, okay, I understand, but. I'm trying to respect I'm trying to respect the whole process, right, and respect what the pushback is, and I think that's all of our pushbacks. I think it was just not, I think we thought we were gonna have a discussion, and that's our own stupidity, I'm not blaming that on anybody. So, the point of it is that if this goes through, then this part comes out.
whatever you
The
want.
next
Have a
time.
public hearing, yes.
Whatever you want to amend, whatever you like.
Let's just do that at this point.
Alright,
I don't care.
because I don't think that anybody has a problem with the rest of it.
That's the important part, I think.
Right, it puts it back, that's all it does.
Okay, so where we're at,
Your vote,
alright, so we, I'm just trying to count here. Yes,
there's 3 yeses and 1 no.
yes, one no. Oh, okay, alright, I'm just gonna say yes.
no, Council President Parker,
So I just wanna make sure we're all.
Yeah, I would be.
We're gonna do this one more time.
I think
I'm gonna do it one more
You
time.
could amend it at the.
Because
public-
I don't think, and Susan, I'm asking you, because I wanna be fair on
Yeah,
everything.
yes, it's fine. we
That
can fix it
you're,
later.
we could fix, so because you're okay with
I'm
everything else,
fine
as
with it,
we
it's
are.
just the principle of the
Yeah,
matter.
okay, all right, then we're gonna go further. Yes, we'll amend it.
Okay. Public hearing November 10th.
On the votes over, that's right, thank you. Public hearing scheduled for November 10th with everything else. Thank you, all right, getting back to the regular agenda, we're doing it, on.
Can I have a point of order? What was moved November 10th prior? There was something that
There were
didn't get
two other-
introduced?
Yeah, we have.
There were two introduced ordinances that was with the public hearing.
The HPC,
Which numbers were those?
God, I don't remember,
Oh, they're not on this agenda.
No.
Okay, that's what I was looking for them on the
so
agenda and
it's
I'm.
26 and 27.
That's apparently because they weren't published.
Right.
Got it. I didn't realize
Needed
that
7
you
business
mentioned
days
it and I'm
and-
following along on the agenda and I was confused.
Mayor has carried that hearing to the next
To
meeting,
November
as
10th.
is required by law here in this room. No further notice being on the next to be published will be given, that'll be heard.
Got it.
That's all fine.
Okay, yeah, sorry,
You
just
can
wanted
carry it
to
as long as
clarify.
the state flags in the next
Which I
meeting,
did.
which you did, everything is fine.
So,
So who's gonna correct this for the next meeting?
So I would suggest that Councilman Engelhardt, either at any time now in the next 2 weeks, submit the language she prefers to her colleagues. And that the, prior to the final action or of the ordinance, that motion to amend be very simple.
So Susan, you're gonna take the ball.
Yes.
And that is only because it is to a whereas, which is a non-substantive clause. You can always make it whereas.
I'm sorry,
What?
does this need to go through planning board again?
no,
No?
Not for this.
no, no, we already commented on this as part of the original ordinance.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Ordinance is done.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
It's just an amendment.
Proceed without this, not because of, your fault.
When you submit it, whatever it is, please make sure you submit it to Carla as well, and just, you know,
Whatever you wanna put, just a whereas clause, we don't wanna get too bogged down, so whatever the governing body wants is what it needs, 100%. It's not to the substantive of the ordinance,
okay, it's
couldn't
fine.
change
I know.
sentences or anything, but you can change the whereas clause.
All right, getting back on the regular agenda, I believe I left off at 2025-2025, is that right, Carla?
Yes.
Authorizing the purchase of an Alcatraz 9510 system from Drager Inc. Not to exceed $23,194. Have a motion, please.
So move.
Is there a second?
Several seconds.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Aries,
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasar,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Council Vice President Long,
Yes.
and Council President Parker.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-186, resolution approving the purchase of a crosswalk sign system from Glencoe Supply not to exceed $17,300. That's that's a purchase of, I think it's 3 sets, if I'm not mistaken. Can I have a motion, please? Sorry, no. Is there a second?
Several seconds.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Aries,
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasar,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Council Vice President Long,
Yes.
and Council President Parker.
Yes.
We don't have a work session, public comment, that's session number 2. If anybody from the public has anything they want to say, please come to the microphone, please take 3 minutes, if possible. Seeing nobody, moving on, payment of bills, authorizing payment of bills in the amount of $2,657,667.00. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Is there a second?
Engelhardt will second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Aries,
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasar,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Council Vice President Long,
Yes.
and Council President Parker.
Yes.
We do have an executive session, regarding potential litigation electronic sign. There will be no action taken after the executive session. Perhaps. What?
Oh, there'll be no action tonight,
There will be no action today?
I think so,
Okay,
they're just getting a brief. How do you wanna handle it? I guess, who's here? I guess.
well,
all the
they're
suits
gonna,
are here.
they're gonna leave their.
Oh, what gave you away? All the suits. Yeah, and they said the public comment went out of word, so.
Michael, everybody without a suit has to.
No, they're also gonna step out for,
So I was like, you'd like to do your thing.
yes,
or
I
give
wanted
your
to talk to
discussion
council
first,
regarding
and
what's
then
going on,
you can come back in.
and then they'll be invited in, so. Can I have a motion? Can I have a motion to go into executive session, please?
Long move.
Is there a second?
Michael Harrell said.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I, hold on.
Back in public, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Long move.
Is there a second?
Michael Harrell said.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Bye.
Aye.
Good night, everybody.